Hello and good afternoon from a very sunny England. Today the subject is going to be street photography for beginners. So I hope you enjoy this program and I hope it inspires and helps you to go out there and take some photos of people. To some people that's actually quite a daunting experience. So grab yourself a pen and a piece of paper. I'm going to give you a few very important tips to help you overcome your fear of going out and being among people with your camera. So I'm just going to have a quick slurp of my coffee, get yourself a pen and paper, make yourself comfortable, and I'm going to tell you what's coming up in this program. Give me a second while I have a slurp of my coffee. Okay, first of all, respect. When you're going to go out and do street photography, have some respect around the people that you're seeing and walking around with. Okay, respect yourself. And something else which is quite important, and I hope you don't take offence for it, but when you dress up casual, but dress up smart. So that you look nice, you've got your camera with you, you look smart, you look clean, and not only makes you look good, but it makes you feel good about yourself as well. Because when you're doing street photography, it's all about feeling good about yourself and getting used to your surroundings, okay? That's going to help you a great deal. Now secondly, lenses. Don't take a great big zoom lens with you unless you're doing a model shoot or anything like that and you want a good compressed photo to really blur out that background and make the subject stand out. And a zoom lens can be very effective for this, to say the least. The lens that I tend to use most of the time is a 35 or 50mm lens, okay? So if a 35 or a 50mm lens will do the job adequately. If you've got a fast lens that opens up quite wide, anything past f2, 1.8, that can really make the subject stand out and blur out the background. And there are some situations where that kind of lens can really come into its own. But generally speaking, 35, 50mm lens will be fine. Confidence. Don't go stalking the subject. This can be quite intimidating and quite rude. If you know a place in your city or your countryside where people reside, and especially again when it involves lighting, use that kind of place. If you've got some idea when the best lighting is going to be and you know what subject there is within the area, that can certainly help, but it's not a necessity. Understanding the actions of people. Understanding the actions of people. Being ready for one of those shots that you think may come. It may not. But over time with street photography, you'll develop this skill in anticipating a moment. And when it does come, if you've got your camera ready, then you can end up getting a really great shot. But at the same time, does it pay to move around or stay in one spot? If the lighting's really good in one spot and there's a lot of strength in the background or the surrounding area, it may well be worth staying around there for a while. If you can grab a coffee, have a coffee, and you'll be surprised you'll blend in and nobody will take any notice of you. You'll almost disappear. Smile, enjoy the day, enjoy the moment, enjoy the anticipation. Enjoy the excitement of being around people. People are fascinating. Now when the moment comes, just be ready for that. It could be anything. It could be somebody laughing, somebody with a coffee, somebody's perhaps had a minor accident, they haven't hurt themselves. But again, lots of people smiling, even a person on their own looking somewhat, sombre, a little bit down. These all make great photographs, and in this day and age I think street photography is going to become even more important, especially after this lockdown, when people will eventually be able to get out and join each other again in great outdoors. I know it's hard for us all at the moment, but we're making the best of it we can. So while this is around at the moment, this is time for you, as a beginning street photographer, to have a look, read, study, learn and enjoy at your own pace. Now when I'm out street photography, let's say London for instance, I'm literally just walking around drinking a coffee and enjoying people. But at the same time, over the years, you develop an instinct when something is going to happen and you can be ready for it. And sometimes the unexpected happens, and that's even better. But be respectful. That's the one big key to really good street photography, is being respectful, not only to yourself, but where you are. And most of all, just enjoy it. Because people from all walks of life can be absolutely fascinating, from unusual stance photography to strange looks. One little thing that I do occasionally, if I see the potential of a shot, is maybe I might look up, oh, that looks interesting, look back down towards that person, and perhaps they've disengaged the look from me and taken the shot. As long as they're not intimidating, they're not disrespectful to that person or people's privacy, that's one of the clinches. Now, importantly, shooting in public places is completely legal. Shooting in places where you have to pay to enter, you need a model release form. For instance, if you was to go to a royal park or anywhere with a paid entrance, you cannot take a photo of somebody unless you have a model release form. That is something you've got to be very careful about. The photos that you'll see later on here will be from London, Japan, the Philippines and Thailand. And they're not staged shots. This is the other key element to street photography. None of them are staged. They're real moments and they only happen once. This to me is what makes street photography so exciting. Cityscape photography is wonderful and it's something I thoroughly enjoy because it all plays on the light and composition. Street photography, when you've caught that wonderful moment or that amazing lighting with one person or maybe three people, that's a moment, but it may not come again. Whereas city photography and the cityscape, those buildings most of the time will always be there. So you can plan your visit to get the shots you want. The buildings are not going to move, but as we know, people move all the time. Okay? And you will develop the instinct over time. You just keep on practicing with it. And the more you go out to do your street photography, the more confident you will feel. But don't worry about it. Steve said to me that he's quite happy being a chef in the kitchen and cooking with people around him, shouting out the orders. But he's well out of his comfort zone when he wants to do some street photography. Well, you know as well as I do that coming out of your comfort zone is not easy, but not by any means. But if you don't do it, you never will. For me, filming in front of this camera is relatively easy now. But when I'm in vlogging in London, although I enjoy it, I'm still a little bit uncomfortable with it, but I'm going to do it anyway. But when I'm with my camera taking photos of people, I'm not uncomfortable. In fact, I'm absolutely thrilled. I'm delighted. I'm enjoying it because from one challenge to the next, there are loads and loads of different challenges. So that's what street photography is. So 35 50mm lens, be respectful, just be careful of some of the places you take the photos. Public places you're fine, you're absolutely legal to do so. If somebody sees you about to take a photo of them and they do look uncomfortable to you, swivel away, don't bother, because there is a chance that somebody may say something to you simply because they're not happy about the fact that you've taken that photo. And that just makes sense to you and makes sense to them. And the last thing that you want to do is offend anyone, because that could really mess up the rest of your time. You're going to feel guilty about it and you're going to feel angry, and you don't want to do that. So be respectful, look smart, look for the opportunities you think may arise. If they don't, take some photos, just take some photos and it'll happen. So the photos you see will be from 4 different countries and none of them are staged. They're all moments in time, and street photography to me is probably within the top 3 subjects that I absolutely adore. Because when you look back over the years and look at some of those photos, you think, wow, I'm really pleased with that. And that shot I will never be able to do or ever see again. It's a one-off. So I'm going to put up some photos. I'm not going to say too much about them. There'll be a little bit of music to go along with them, but I will put up the titles of where they were taken. Have a good look at them. Have a good look at the lighting. Oh, and the other thing is composition. When it comes to street photography, composition is important, but it's not as important as it would be, say, landscape photography, where composition is extremely important. But composition, obviously, in any photography certainly helps, but you may not have time to worry about it. It could be just a split second, and whatever's behind them or around them, if it's that person's face or that one moment, just take the shot, grab the shot. And if it needs a touch of editing in Lightroom or Photoshop, then yeah, fair enough, do that. But I hope that you enjoy the street photography photos I'm going to show you. If you've got any questions, please get back to me, because I will get back to you, I promise you that. And I wish you all well and be safe. On next week's channel, a beginner's guide to seaside photography, another subject that I really enjoy. This channel's made for you, the beginner who's just starting their journey through the lens. So have some fun with it. Subscribe to my channel, hit that button, and I'm going to catch you later, and enjoy the photos. Thank you for viewing. Bye bye.